What is up, everyone? Welcome to today's reaction video, and today's reaction is the winner of this week's poll for other artists over on my Patreon, which was Mr. Dan Vasc, and I have been waiting, absolutely waiting for the chance to get into another Dan Vasc Bon Jovi cover, because y'all know that Bon Jovi just has a special place in my heart. It was my childhood music. My mom was obsessed, and I said in my first reaction that I didn't think anyone should cover Bon Jovi. I didn't think anyone could cover Bon Jovi. And then Mr. Dan Vasc walked into my life and said, "Oh yeah, watch me. Absolutely watch me." He knocked it out of the park. It was incredible, and I cannot wait to hear what he does now with It's My Life. So we're going to get into this reaction. As always, guys, please check out the original video linked in the description below. Give it a like, give it a comment, subscribe to Dan Vasc if you haven't already, and we're going to get into this. This is Dan Vasc's cover of It's My Life. Let's go.
This ain't a song for the broken-hearted. No silent prayer for the faith departed.
I don't know how to phrase what I'm going to say here, but there's something that Dan is doing right now, and it's like he's doing it specifically for this song, because this song requires it, it needs it, but it's a certain way that you pronounce the words that just is hitting right for It's My Life. You can't just, like, you could do this song a million ways and you could pronounce it differently, but there's something about the way that Bon Jovi comes in with the, I'm not going to try and sing it, but it's the pronunciation, you guys, that Dan is nailing. He is doing it fantastically. And yeah, I immediately, it catches my ear. I'm like, oh, this is just right. This man is doing this correctly. He sounds fantastic. Let's go.
For the broken-hearted. No silent prayer for the faith departed. I ain't gonna be just a face in the crowd. You're gonna hear my voice when I shout it out loud. It's my life, and it's now or never. And I ain't gonna live forever. I just wanna live one higher life. It's my life. My heart is like an open highway. Like Frankie said, I did it my way. I just wanna live one higher life. It's my life.
You'll know that I have such a passionate love for a freaking song when I can't bring myself to pause during the chorus. I wanted to pause so badly to talk about what Dan is doing here. I had thoughts rolling around in my head. I wanted to get them out, but it would have been blasphemy to pause that chorus. I could not bring myself to do it. This is how deeply ingrained in me Bon Jovi is. And the main thing that I'm thinking at the moment, the main thing that is blowing me away, that's just clicked in my brain, is Dan Vasc. It's like he sat down and went, what would be the two most difficult Bon Jovi songs to pull off and to do well? Because I'll just do those two. Because he started with Living on a Prayer. Oh, actually, I don't know if he started and then this one came after. I don't know what order he did them in. But either way, the two that I've heard are Living on a Prayer and It's My Life. Two of the most iconic Bon Jovi songs, period. Hands down. Like, every Bon Jovi song is phenomenal. But Living on a Prayer, I'll put it out there. I might be wrong on this, but the last time I saw Mr. John Bon Jovi live, he would do his thing of singing in the microphone, and then when it got to that big whoa note, each time he'd hold it out to the crowd. And I'm not saying he can't still hit it, I'm sure he can, but hitting it night after night after night might be a bit difficult for him at this stage, which goes to show what a difficult vocal it is. Dan nailed it every time. This song has an energy and a life and an oomph to it. And if you're not hitting that and it's not sounding right, the whole song's going to fall flat. Dan's making me want to jump up out of my chair and groove to this because it is just hitting right. This song is such a pump up, and Dan is doing it so much justice that it's just epic.
It's my life. This is for the ones who stood their ground. But Tony and Gina never back down. Tomorrow's getting harder, make no mistake. Look ain't even look, you gotta make her own breaks.
I've got it before it gets in the chorus. I am loving the fact I said before about how Dan's getting like the pronunciation of the words right and isn't like, again, if you sang it in a different accent or did it slightly different, it just wouldn't hit the ear right. He is getting that down, but he is not doing this as a carbon copy of Bon Jovi's version. Do not mistake me on that for a second. He has put a gravel in this and a little bit of a growl in some of the parts that just sounds so good and just adds so much to it. And Bon Jovi has a little bit in there as well, but just the way that Dan's doing it, it's just adding a certain, for lack of a better term, a certain sexiness to it that I was not prepared for. And he is just absolutely knocking it out of the park. It just, it's barely even noticeable from the original, but it's just this kind of in there that's not in the version I'm used to. And it's just hits so nicely.
Tomorrow's getting harder, make no mistake. Look ain't even look, you gotta make her own breaks. It's my life, and it's now or never. And I ain't gonna live forever. I just wanna live while I'm alive. It's my life. My heart is like an open highway. Like Frankie said, I did it my way. I just wanna live while I'm alive. 'Cause it's my life.
That's what I'm talking about, okay? That is what I'm talking about in terms of me saying this isn't a carbon copy. This is not someone getting up and doing Bon Jovi karaoke, okay? This is Dan's own style, and the way he did that last life there, where he added that kind of sexy sound to it, is just everything. It is giving me life, and Dan is just incredible for it. This song is such an easy one, especially considering that the arrangement of it, the music of it, he hasn't done It's My Life metal. He hasn't done It's My Life rock cover, because it's already a rock song. He hasn't tried to make it like anything more than what it originally was. He is paying homage and paying tribute to the original. And in doing so, it's very, very easy to fall into just being bad karaoke or even good karaoke. You know, it is very easy to just be a cheap imitation of the original. Dan's not doing that. Dan is adding everything this song needs to pay homage to the original, please the original Bon Jovi fans, but also kick it up a notch in his own incredible way. And I love that. As a Bon Jovi stan, as a Bon Jovi fan, I love what he has done with this cover because, again, it would be so easy to mess this up, to bastardize it, to ruin it in some way. Not doing that at all. He is doing it absolute justice.
Just wanna live while I'm alive. 'Cause it's my life.
When we get that side profile of Dan, so actually the other side, and you just have his hair falling down slightly in front, is there anything sexier in the world? Is there anything that screams sexy rock god any more than that? Because for me, absolute kryptonite. I have said since I was like 18 years old that my absolute kryptonite is a man with long hair. And when I say that, Dan Vasc is the prime and perfect example of what I mean. Because it's very, very easy for a guy with long hair to also not be my type. Dan Vasc is what I'm talking about when I say a man with long hair is perfection. Like, honestly. Had to comment on it. Look at that. That is the actual dictionary definition of an Adonis. If you put a picture of him next to that word in the dictionary, no further explanation is needed. Whew, let's keep going. I love that in this section here, because Dan is a phenomenal metal singer and a phenomenal rock singer. But I've mentioned before that I am so certain, and I can't remember if I've gotten validation of this in the comments before or if it's just still a theory that rocks around in my head. But I am so incredibly certain that this man has had either opera or musical theatre training. One of the two, because you just hear it in his voice occasionally. And you see it in the way that he stands and the way he pushes his chest out and holds his diaphragm as he's singing. He knows how to support those notes. He knows how to hit those notes to make them sound absolutely perfect. And the way that he's done this last section here, it's almost like he's switched up and gone, how can I step it up from the rock that I've been doing the whole way through? I know, I'm going to put it up into those clean vocals. The way that he is pronouncing those big notes is so crisp and clear and perfect, and it's coming from a place of such a strong singing foundation that I'm so sure he has had really, really technical training. Please, y'all, let me know, because if I'm wrong, if I'm barking up the wrong tree, I'll 100% admit that, but come on, there has to have been something more than just your average singing training or your average self-taught here, because what he's doing with these notes is so technically perfect that he has to have had at least musical theatre training, if not full opera training. I reckon, and I know that he has done versions of, I believe, I can't pronounce it, I'm so sorry guys, Nessun Dorma, or whatever that song is. I think he's done some opera songs, I believe, and I desperately need to check those out, because I know they will melt my brain straight out my nose. It will just come pouring out, and I'll have no brain left, because Dan doing that would just be nuts. But yes, like these last few notes have just been a shift, and in the most incredible way.
My life, it's now or never, and I ain't gonna live forever. I just wanna live while I'm alive. It's my life. My heart is like an open highway. Like Frankie said, I did it my way. I just wanna live while I'm alive. It's my life.
Hey, my friends, hard to imagine something more 2000s iconic than this song. By the way,
Right?
I did this song because you guys asked me to, so keep letting me know what songs you want me to cover on the comments below. Here
Everything. The correct answer is everything. Dan, if a song has been written, we want a cover of it by you. You could cover Aqua's Barbie Girl tomorrow, and it would be iconic. A Dan Vasc version of the Macarena would be a rock banger. Honestly, any song, name it, we'll listen to it.
Huge thank you to my patrons. It's because of them that I am able to do music for a living. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you so much. You're amazing. And if you are a Bon Jovi fan, here's the other Bon Jovi covers I did on this channel on a single playlist for you to watch. I hope to see you next time. Until then, my friends, have yourselves an epic day.
That is not fair. I had not realized he did Always as well. He has done 6 Bon Jovi songs. I'm guessing including this one and the one I've already seen. So 4 more Bon Jovi songs. Okay. You'll need to jump over to the Patreon, sign up to my $1 tier, and vote on my other artist polls. I need Dan Vasc winning by a landslide every week so that we can have Dan Vasc Day. I need Dan Vasc Day so that we can have Dan Vasc Bon Jovi Day so that I can hear all these because I need them in my life so badly. Always is possibly one of the greatest songs ever written, period, full stop. I love it. I need to hear that so badly. I'm not going to lie. If I had known about that, I would have missed out on this gem today because there was no way I would have skipped over Always. Either way, it doesn't matter because this was freaking epic. And I'm going to put it out there. All right. I am in no way, as I say this, I am in no way saying that Dan Vasc could replace Bon Jovi. Like John Bon Jovi. Not what I'm saying, okay? But I am also not saying that Adam Lambert could ever replace Freddie Mercury. What I am saying is that in Freddie Mercury's place, Adam Lambert has done a great job standing in as a frontman of Queen. And I am saying that if John Bon Jovi ever couldn't tour with the band Bon Jovi, as much as his name is in the title, if they needed to go out and find themselves a stand-in, if they needed to find someone to sing those songs, you look me in the eyes and tell me that there is anyone better than Dan Vasc and I will call you a liar. This man is the perfect person to sing Bon Jovi. His voice is gorgeous and his versions are the only versions of these songs that I will stand for other than the originals because, wow, he knocked this out of the park. He knocked Living on a Prayer out of the park and I can't wait to hear the rest of them. I am so hyped up after that. I am ready to go. That was incredible. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please check out the original video that's linked in the description below. Give it a like, give it a comment, subscribe to Dan Vasc if you haven't already, and let him know what an incredible song this was. Also, leave me a like and a comment and subscribe to me if you haven't already. It helps out the channel so much. I can't even begin to tell you. It's because of all my incredible subscribers that I'm able to keep doing this. And it is also because of my incredible Patreons that I'm able to do this. So please check me out over there. You get to vote on the weekly polls and you get access to the Discord for as little as $1. So check that out over there. I also do weekly TV show reactions, 2 of them per week. And I release a song per week to my followers on Patreon from my live streams that I record once a month. And yeah, I do monthly live streams. I also do monthly movie reactions. And at the highest tier, you can get a guaranteed reaction right here on the channel. So check all of that out over on Patreon. I will see you all in the next reaction video. Have a great day, night, morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time zone you're in. And I'll see you next time. Bye.